Welcome back to the Paranormal After Party podcast. My name is Kat, and I'm joined by Shane, and we are the Afterlife Party, or we are part of the Afterlife Party.
Not after the afterlife or before the afterlife. This is the Paranormal After Party from the Afterlife Party. Just to be clear.
Yeah. Just
Episode 3.
Say that 10 times fast.
Did I put 4 fingers up or 4? I don't know, but
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. So, episode 3, it is March, and that's what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about March and all of the things that we have done in March.
Yep.
Most importantly of which, though, is Shane is back.
Yes, I am back. I am definitely back. Well, I have been back for a while now. Like, I'm sure a lot of people follow the channel and they've seen that they're well aware that I'm back. But this month was the Pinjarra investigation, which was the first one that I did.
Which was a little while ago now, but it's only just made it up to the channel.
Yeah, I mean, it has been a while. I mean, we'll get into that in a little bit, but yeah, it's just interesting watching it again because I realise how long it's been since I watched it the first time, and it actually scared the shit out of me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I wasn't so scared at the time on location, but yeah, I was freaking myself out watching it. So,
it's funny how that happens.
Yeah, it's quite good. It's got its moments, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, we might as well go straight into talking about the Pinjarra investigation because, that's the big one on the channel this month.
Yep.
What was it like? What was it like watching it again?
It was surprising how good it was, and only because I was actually struck because we've done so much since then. I struggled to remember a lot of what had happened, and just a lot of the things that were said or whatnot. It was quite enjoyable, but yeah, it was interesting. I think that there's certain pieces of evidence in that investigation that are really, really good. You know, obviously, specifically the end.
Yeah, of course.
But what you got to realise, because I mean, that we had the whistle, in particular for me, I don't remember ever hearing a disembodied sound or a voice before that. Although I think I did, and I've just forgotten. Which I don't know if Alzheimer's or what my problem is. I'm talking about Oliver State.
I don't know if we did at Oliver State.
No, maybe that was...
Yeah, like way back at Oliver State, you mean, yeah?
Yeah, like when we were there, those first...
Yeah.
With Mick and whatnot. And I couldn't remember if we did or we didn't, but I certainly had forgotten if we had have, if that makes any sense. So this felt like the first time for me. So that was a big deal. That was really cool. It was... I remember it being quite disappointing with the rain because it wasn't forecast.
Yeah. The rain really was frustrating. Like, we didn't expect that at all. And it definitely changed our plans for the night.
Yeah.
It's funny how much we forget after an investigation, hey? Like, you walk away sometimes thinking, I don't know, like, it was pretty quiet. I don't think we got much. And then... once it's all sort of like, once you look back at the footage and put it together, it's like, holy shit, you make all these connections of things that you didn't even realize at the time.
Absolutely. And, which people, interesting seeing some of the comments in the chat. There's people that have, got some interesting theories on some stuff that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff I'd forgotten in general, so it was a lot better than I remembered. I remember we didn't get a lot because there wasn't a lot of equipment going off or anything like that. But what we did get, I thought, was really, really good. Really, really good.
Mm.
Specifically the end. That end.
Yes.
Holy shit, that was...
What's funny about the whistle is a lot of people have since said, like, oh, if you hear it whistle at night, don't whistle back. But we actually didn't hear a whistle first.
Well, I did.
No, we got told, whistle came through on the spirit tour.
Yeah.
And then Jason whistled. And then it was after that that they whistled back. So it was the other way around, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And they did make it clear, though, that the whistle was bad. They made that pretty clear. Or dangerous.
Yeah,
but, yeah, that
falls perfectly into what people have been saying. That's news to me, and I don't want to sound disrespectful, or I should have known this to begin with. I had no idea that was bad. But I only hope and pray that the spirits realize, possibly out of at least my own stupidity, that we can be forgiven. You know, with the handicap of just not having the knowledge, because I think they realize, you know, that we were there with good intentions. So
yeah, I think so. And you know, it all was okay in the end.
Yeah.
One thing that I realized watching that one back, and I don't know if it made it to the full video or if it was just in the raw footage that I realized it, is how long Jason and I spent looking for gargoyles.
Gargoyle.
Yeah.
I thought it was my hairstyle or something, didn't I?
Gargoyle came through at least 3 times, I think.
Yeah.
And so we literally went out there looking for gargoyles and couldn't find any.
You would at a cemetery.
Yeah. We're at the cemetery with the church and stuff. So we were just looking at like every bit of like stone carving out there, trying to find a gargoyle somewhere.
Yeah, gargoyle. Nope. Gargoyle. No, that's a cherub. You know. Nope. But I think also as well, like you know, I mean, because how often before that had you guys had gargoyle come through? Had you ever had that before? Because remember, this is the first one me coming back, so I'd never had that before. I don't think.
No.
Never. Okay.
Never. Not that I can remember. And we've had it once since. Don't ask me where. Can't remember.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was recently. I've had gargoyle come through again, and every time it just makes me think of that church in Pinjarra now, the St. John's Church.
I know, because it kept getting repeated, didn't it?
Yeah, it came through a bunch of times there. At the schoolmaster's house first, and then at the actual church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both locations. So, you know, and they're obviously very close together. The church is literally just outside. It's like, what would it be, about maybe 50 meters, 40 meters away or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. It was pretty close.
Yeah, I couldn't. The thing is, I think a lot of the times with the spirit talker, especially, I mean, more so in other investigations, but even in Pinjarra, some messages that are a lot, at least for me, I can get where they, you know, they're quite direct compared to just the word gargoyle.
Yeah.
Well, you can add another word to that. Why not add find the gargoyle, or I am a gargoyle, or your hair looks like a gargoyle's, or whatever.
I know, that's such a thing, is like, you know, when the spirits come through with these random messages, and, you know, people ask, and I do wonder sometimes, it's like, why do they have to be so cryptic? Why can't they just say it? Yeah. And I don't know why. I don't know if it has to do with the way that the devices work. Like, do they just find whatever words are easy to express? Because obviously, like, the spirit talker itself is really, it's very complicated in how it works. Like, I don't know how they make it work. It sounds really complicated. Like,
I actually went on to the website
and stuff. Yeah.
Sorry, I actually went onto the website. I can't remember the name of the maker of it. Just to see if it went into specifics, you know, with exactly, and nope, it's all, it's, you turn it on and it works, you know, and
yeah. Although the thing I do like about Spirit Talker is that it is quite transparent about what sensors it uses, and it actually shows you, like, have you ever noticed when you first start it and you calibrate it?
Yeah.
It shows you all the sensors that it's actually loaded.
Yeah.
And if you go across to the other screen, it'll show you what it's reading. It'll show you the direct readings of your magnetometer, your accelerometer, and all of that.
Yeah.
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 So, which is cool.
That is that. What I would really like to know, though, from the makers of the Spirit Talker app is how many words and phrases are in it. There's nobody has put that together yet, is actually a list of what is programmed into it.
I mean,
whereas the Ovilus, we have that.
Yeah, the full, like the manual's like a telephone book, isn't it, for the Ovilus?
No, the manual for the Ovilus is got fuck all information.
It's just a QR code.
No. No, the Ovilus, how it works, there's actually very little information on, but the you can get the log though, the word list for it, and I think we worked out it was like 1,000 and something words.
Wow. Okay.
It's actually not very many compared to the other apps. Like the Spirit Talker has got way more.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know how many.
I feel like the maker really doesn't want to, we can't find that information for a reason because they don't want, they'd rather just not say. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, whoever's developed the app, I doubt that they've ever gotten some of the evidence we have. And I don't want to sound like arrogant or anything, but I'm just saying, I'd say he spends more time developing software than he does actually hunting for ghosts. So maybe we could collaborate with him. I don't know. But
I would like to. Somebody once, I came across something where somebody actually did try and pull apart the app. But I don't think they got far. I don't know where they got with it.
Like, but yeah, disassemble the code or something.
Yeah, to work out how it worked. I should follow up and see how far they got with that because it would be really interesting.
It would. But the thing is, as well, I mean, I will state that just as far as the Spirit Talker, like when I first started, probably one of the most skeptical. I was most skeptical about the Spirit Talker just because it's a phone app. Everyone uses it and whatnot, and yeah. But I will say that I am. I would put money on that it works now. Absolutely. In fact, I don't know if we were to talk about favourite pieces of equipment, the Spirit Talker would be up there. So I think we already have actually. At the beginning of the year. But Spirit Talker, regardless of how it works, I'm pretty sure it works.
I agree with you in terms of since starting doing this, the piece of equipment that have always been the most skeptical of is the Spirit Talker as well. Because hey, it's a phone app. But I'm slowly realizing that, the Ovilus is just a piece of programming as well.
Yeah.
It's not on a phone. It's it's a standalone piece of code, essentially. It's still a device that's programmed. So in that regard, it's like, still, it's a phone app, but holy shit, have we got some accurate stuff through it.
Yeah, and we talk about single words and stuff like that, and we know for a fact that, there's spirits or something that's able to form full coherent sentences that are relevant, with it. So that's what I mean. Why just say gargoyle? So when stuff like that comes through now, only because I've done so many investigations with you guys. Yeah. When we just get a single word, to me, that could go either way. It could be that it's whatever spirit is trying to communicate with us just does not have the energy to give us more than one word. Or it's the phone picking up on the smallest of sensor reaction, and it's just throwing the word out, Yeah, it's because like some kind of environmental change. Exactly, because when we start getting the real stuff, we know about it. There's no question. So, and there's quite a big difference between the two. So, gargoyle to me, I don't know, it was coming out a lot. It was, and I'm on the fence with that one. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I agree with you. There is a sense where we kind of can tell sometimes when it's just coming out with random stuff. Yep. Because and it's based on environmental factors. So. Yep.
there are other ways that those words can come out besides the spirits. Crocodile has been my favorite one.
Yeah.
We had crocodile again the other day at the Newcastle jail, and we'll talk more about the Newcastle jail soon.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
But shall we, now that we've pulled apart the spirit talker?
Yeah, I mean, we can turn it into like a 2-hour episode if we just talk about the spirit talker.
I actually
you and I definitely could do that, but we probably shouldn't, right?
Yeah, we should probably move on. Pinjarra.
Yeah.
2 really cool bits of evidence left to talk about. Well, actually, no, we've talked about the first bit of cool evidence.
Yep.
The second one is right at the end, so we'll get to that. But before we get there is a comment that we got on the video of a piece of evidence that we didn't pick up at all. Well, it's a potential piece of evidence. Can't confirm. But somebody, I think it's Megan Hennings, one of our YouTube commenters, actually noticed that there's a point where I'm outside and my hair moves in a really unnatural way.
Yeah.
And I've watched it back now over and over and over. And it's like one piece of my hair just gets like picked up and pulled outwards and stays there for a bit before eventually getting dropped back down.
Yep.
What did you make of that? Because you've seen it now too, haven't you?
I have. So firstly, I say, Megan, can I borrow your eyes, please? How did you even notice that? That was amazing that you even picked up on that. Really, really good eyes. And absolutely, that is not normal. The only thing I could think of was some sort of static electricity. But you're outside.
It was out too far to have been static.
Yeah, but it was like, because your hair's like pointing that way. So
and it was one piece like this. It wasn't like, when I picked it up and all of it stuck together like that. It was literally like one little piece.
Yeah.
Just out. And I was like,
it just reminds me, when you get the balloon trick and you put the balloon near your hair and it sort of looks like what mine does right now, That's how I prepare my hair. But anyway, that was the only thing I could come up with. But of course, it does look like, if someone was to grab your hair and sort of tug on it, or even twist it like that. I don't know. It was weird.
It was weird. And I watched back, not just that section, because what I thought it could be was me moving, and because I was wearing a hoodie. And so I was like, maybe a piece of hair just got like stuck weirdly on my hoodie or something.
But it lifted up like that.
Yeah,
Hair and went like that, and it didn't just fall down.
Just like pushed it.
Like that, like someone had it, like Jace had it on an end of a piece of string or something. He's like, cat.
I don't know. That was all I could think of, was that it was to do with the way that I moved. And I watched back, not just that section, but then later on, I watched like a few other times in the graveyard where like I moved in similar ways and my hair was like stuck on the hood of my hoodie and how it behaved then. And there is one where like my hair does sort of like flick a little bit, but not like that. It still wasn't like that. It still didn't come like out. And I was, it was.
Because wasn't there a gap between your shoulder and the hair, like of that distance? Yeah. I mean, if it was resting and then it bent up like that, that's something else. But there was a gap.
There was,
that was really, really weird. Yep.
Definitely weird and excellent pickup, hey? Like, it just shows no matter how many times we watch this stuff back, there's still more. There's still more.
I mean, I've just picked up some scleral lenses for the first time, so my eyesight is now much better, which will help, obviously, on investigations.
That will help.
But not to Megan's level there. That's what I aspire to be. That was amazing. Well done.
Oh my gosh. I just had like another thought based on like great pickups that is related to Oliver State, but we should finish with Pinjarra first.
Yeah.
Before we move on. So
yeah.
Do you want to talk about the obviously best piece of evidence that we got at Pinjarra?
Yep, sure. So, because this was right at the end of the night, and I remember the disappointment because you guys had just come in from outside. We couldn't hear a thing, me and Kim. You guys at all. We couldn't even hear that it was raining. we probably couldn't hear out of our own because of our own voices, But you guys came in. It was basically time to wrap it up, and it was like, unfortunately, it was just really disappointing because of the graveyard. Didn't get much attention.
Yeah.
And then I was filming. Obviously, I was in the center aisle, and I was directly in front of you guys. And then the next thing is your scream, right? Because you got to remember, and I shit myself, obviously. Because when Kat screams, it's an automatic, it's a reflex action just to shit myself. But I'm pretty sure, that was stated on the video. Me and Kim did not hear the footsteps at all.
Yes, that's right. You didn't even hear.
So, and it was you screaming that threw me back. And then, because it was totally unexpected. And I'm thinking, shit, what's going on? And then, I don't know, maybe 3 seconds after that, I felt like I just got the craziest goosebumps. And it's like something just hit me. And I can't even describe that. And I didn't know what was going on. And then obviously you let it be known what had happened. And, and then it was, okay. And you guys couldn't believe that we didn't hear it because you were saying how loud it was. You're like, it was loud as fuck. How could you not hear that? And we're like, well,
I still can't believe how you didn't hear it.
Both of you. I know. And like there was nothing. And then when you watch the footage back, I mean, I'm pretty sure they heard it at the pub over the road. It was that loud, right? So imagine, I mean, it was just shocking to see that footage and the way that it was captured from all the different cameras. And Jason put up like the spider eye vision with the 4 cameras. Brilliant. It was just captured from every single angle. And I will say that with the Pinjarra investigation, I watched that. I've got a friend of mine, Sparta, that lives in Canada. So shout out to Sparta. Hey, there you go. I told you I'd give you a shout out. But he wanted to watch it, so we watched it together. And Sparta watches things with a very skeptical eye.
Yeah.
But when he saw that at the end, he's like, okay, righto. And he went over all the angles and he played it over and over again. He's like, yeah, that's cool. So he couldn't figure it out. And he was even bringing up stuff like, we heard wooden footsteps the whole way. But the first section of that church
is carpet. Yeah.
And you don't have to be that perceptive. If you watch the footage over and over, you realize they start at the doorway, right?
Yeah.
So Sparta said what I think he was on the same wavelength as me. I think I said that back in Pinjarra, that who's to say this is the church as it is now? What if it's like it was originally before they did and it was all wooden,
That's right, yeah.
Because the front part was the most damaged, and literally the whole front part had to be replaced. And of course, it became a step up. Who knows? But
yeah, like who knows? Because and it is. Oh, just hit the desk. Sorry. It is likely. Well, I mean, it's very likely that there was no carpet there originally.
Yeah.
And I think that carpet, I'm not sure if it's like fully carpeted or if it's even more like a bit of an overlay rug type mat thing. I can't really remember.
Not sure.
It's definitely carpet though. I think it is carpeted.
Yep.
But yeah, the way that the footsteps start way back and then they go, What really got me was the audio, listening to the audio where... not just seeing it from every angle, but listening to the audio from every angle individually. Listening to each camera and the way that, like, on this camera that's here, it starts louder and then gets quieter. But on the next camera it starts quiet but gets louder.
Yep.
In the audio. And you can hear it moving. Like,
yeah.
That was crazy for me. That was absolutely crazy.
You can hear the directional. Sorry about that. That's one of my fans. the and that's right. So the different angles. I mean, that checks out. Like with the volume levels of the footsteps and stuff. I mean, you just know instinctively. If you're watching that and you're good with this sort of, you can just instinctively tell, that's footsteps going straight up the middle. And the other thing as well, to me, that sounded like, which falls in with what you're probably going to mention soon. They were footsteps of someone or something on a mission. Right? They were coming in. They wanted themselves to be known. Yeah. So, which made it even scarier. Like I said, I shit myself when I watched that back because I forgot how good it was. I really did.
I've seen a couple of different theories in our comments, which we always love, about the footsteps, and they do kind of align with what our thoughts are and where our head's at.
Yeah.
So right before that, obviously, Jason and I went and we set up to investigate the graveyard, which is where the spirit of the little girl has been seen by many. Yeah. And, she likes to play apparently and doesn't like to go close to the river and stuff. So, and we did pick up actually on some evidence on the spirit talker that suggested that was real, that she is there, because we did have, I think we had Daddy come through or something. And then we had church bell tolls a bit further on, which is the title of the video. And then we asked for who does the church bell toll? And it said daughter.
Yeah.
And so that was like, okay, is this our little girl? But we put all of the toys and stuff out in the cemetery because we were, going to see if she wanted to play with any.
It looked like Toys R Us.
Yeah. We got them all out there. And then it started to sprinkle and we're like, it's okay, like we can keep going, but then the rain got heavier and we're like, we can't leave all of our gear out here.
No choice.
We literally set it all up. We had to pack it all away and it was devastating for everyone involved.
Yep.
Probably including the little girl and potentially the little girl's dad.
Absolutely, yeah.
Who would have been pretty pissed at us for getting, for being like, hi, we're here to see you and to play with you, and here's all these nice toys for you to play with, and now we're going to take them all away.
It's like talk about dangling the carrot in front of somebody and then pulling it away, I would, absolutely. Yeah.
And so if I was that dad, I would also be storming into that church on a freaking mission, pretty pissed at us for doing that, right?
Yep. Absolutely. And I remember the first time you guys mentioned, because we had no idea what had happened outside. Yeah. And then you mentioned that theory, after that, while we were still there. And it's like, that seems feasible. Yep.
That makes sense. Because at first we thought, is it, a residual energy of like a priest sort of coming in and walking down the middle of the church or something, but
didn't feel residual, did it?
Didn't feel residual. And it also, like you said, it felt like they were on a mission. Like they stormed in. They didn't just casually walk down the center aisle of the church.
No, that felt personal. That was personal.
Yeah, it was. Yep. I think. It was full on.
It was, and there's one other thing I need to mention as well that goes along with that theory as well. When we go back to the whistle in the schoolmaster's house, you got to remember that when that happened, I was sitting in the adjacent room, but I could see Jason in the hallway. Yeah. And when I heard that whistle, and then of course, remember Jason had his shirt tugged.
That's right,
It all falls in line. It felt, when I heard that whistle, it felt like it came from about the same height as that shirt tug. So to me, it felt like a child that did that and tugged the shirt.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't make that connection actually. That's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah.
I feel like we need to go back there sometime for sure, especially,
I feel that about so many.
The graveyard, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely one that we've got to revisit, I think.
Yeah.
For sure. Speaking of places that we revisit, though, I did have that connection that I made earlier when you were talking about great pickups in our comments section, or more so things that we don't notice while we're first watching the footage back. The Oliver State is relevant because it was, well, for one, it's your first investigation of on the channel.
Yeah.
On the Afterlife Party channel.
Yep.
One of our it's the first investigation that we've ever done as the Afterlife Party. And also, we've recently gone back there since you have returned to the team.
We have.
But also, where I was going is that, you know, the apparition that we saw in the Oliver State video, the one at the venue, where we got that like full-bodied apparition moving in front of the glass windows.
Yeah, so that was
with me, Jason, and Seren at the venue. The Oliver
was that
State.
about a year later? The one that we did? Yeah. I do remember. I remember that. Yeah, obviously I wasn't in person, but I remember that. Yeah.
No. Yeah, you would have seen the footage though. Did you know that we almost missed that?
Almost missed it.
Yeah, it wasn't until we were watching that back in post, like after it was already put together, that somebody pointed out that, hey, wait a minute, pause that, rewind. Is that an apparition?
I didn't know that. So
it just so happens that Jason chose that piece of, like at that moment, like in editing, to switch cameras to get that bit of phasm footage as we've switched between cameras, that apparition ended up in the video. Otherwise, he didn't see it. Nobody saw it until after the video was made.
That's awesome.
Since then, I know that he processes that phasm footage with a lot more detail. Literally every single angle, every single second of it gets watched and listened to intently since then. Which it already was, but even more so after that.
So now, the eyes get thinner like that.
Yeah. So fun fact that we actually nearly completely missed the fact that we caught an apparition.
Yep. I mean, that's so cool. And obviously, if anybody's watching any of these videos and you think you've seen anything at all, don't go, oh, it's probably not worth it. Put it down. Put it in the chat.
Put it down. Yeah.
Yep. Because we'll pick them out straight away.
Yeah. We do miss things. A lot of the time, I think the light anomalies is the big one because people don't realize how many, with the different cameras that we have, and then when you've got glass windows and stuff like that.
Yep.
Often it's the orbs or the light anomalies that if we haven't called them out, we know that's because we can say that it's likely because of something else.
Because they happen so frequently, don't they, with the amount of cameras we've got around the place?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. And so, other than that, though, for the most part, like, we have had some really good pickups based on the comments. So keep those comments coming, people.
Please keep them coming. Absolutely. Absolutely.
How was the return to Oliver State for you? Going back there.
It had been a while since I was there. It was amazing. Obviously, from an investigation point of view. It was sort of like it was a little bit like going home, wasn't it? Because we've spent quite a bit of time there. It was a strange feeling. It was, because so much has happened since then. Like for me personally as well, because it was a couple of years I sort of stepped out, but it was interesting coming back. Like not a lot had really changed in some ways.
Yeah.
From that place, and just I see things differently now because of the amount of investigations I've done now, rather than that was my first one. That was my first, so I didn't know what to think for a lot of the stuff. And now that there's been so many other instances that I can refer to, relate them to. Yeah, really cool.
Because it's not just how many investigations you've done since in between, because going back to Oliver State, you had not done you hadn't done very like a huge amount with the team again since coming back, but it's also the number that you have watched, because I know that before you came back for your first investigation with the After Party, after having that break, you literally binge watched all of our videos, didn't you?
I did.
And even the ones like you already seen them, but you literally sat there and just watched them all.
That's right. I watched the whole lot, and I hadn't seen them all. There was a lot I hadn't seen.
Okay. Yeah.
So, you know, I'd seen some, but even the ones I'd already seen, it had been that long since I'd seen them.
Yeah.
I watched them again, and I didn't realize, you know, and they just kept on coming and coming. I thought, shit, these guys have been busy. But
yeah, we have.
Yeah, but I mean, it was just
nearly 3 years.
Absolutely, and just the amount of evidence that you guys were getting. I mean, I know we got a lot the first time we went there. More. You know, we didn't get a huge amount, but it was not nothing either. But it was just. I don't know. I just thought, the funny thing is, I think it was Jason that spoke to me first about coming back, and I said, "Well, it's funny you should say that," because I think, you know, because I've been, you know, watching all the videos and stuff, I said maybe it's meant to be. I don't know.
Yeah. There you go.
I will say my perception of everything is evolving. The more we do, it's just evolving into something completely different. So. You know, it's the quest for truth we're after, isn't it? So I think we're making steps closer to that.
Here to find proof of the afterlife.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
That's what it's all about.
Yep.
Yeah.
We should call ourselves the Afterlife Party. Oh, hang on a minute.
Oh, wait, no. Who are we? Sorry. We're the Paranormal After Party.
That's right. Yeah. We should have called it Afterlife. Oh, well.
Yeah. Who is the Afterlife Party? That's. I'm just looking at the Afterlife Party logo in like right behind me as I'm saying that.
I mean, I should have looked at that as well, you know, but.
If you'd known, like, if you'd read that, you would have known that we actually, we thought of this.
I'll remember to look at that next time.
Yeah, cool. Oh, you see it even better on this side.
Well, that's true. Look at Boo. I don't have to turn the contrast up for that one. That's good.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. Where are we at? I don't know. Pinjarra, Oliver State. We're talking about Oliver State. Yeah. So talking about what it was like going back. Yep. I think it was obviously, you know, it was pretty special, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was really cool, actually. It was really great to be back. It's very sad that we're not going to be able to go there again. And
it is sad. It was a late one too. The sun was up. It was like going to Woodstock or something, that one.
Oh, I know. It was amazing. It was amazing. We gave it our everything.
We did.
Yeah. And we can't share too much of the evidence of that one yet because it's not out yet. But it was really awesome to go back and do it. And I just love that that's where you started and you actually got to go back again. So
it's like they completed the loop. Like,
if you were 3 months later coming back to the team, you wouldn't have had that opportunity.
No.
Oliver State's off the table now. It's new owners. It's done.
It is, which is we all. I mean, you know, you feel bad for any spirits. They might miss us, you know.
I think they will.
Well, why wouldn't they?
I was surprised. Oh no, I can't. No,
you can't. Hush now. Yeah.
All right, that's enough about Oliver State.
Yep.
What other exciting things have we been up to? We just did a paranormal investigation experience at the Newcastle jail.
Yeah. Yep.
Which was freaking awesome, and Shane wasn't there, so this is going to be the first time that you're hearing pretty much most of what I have to say.
Yeah, most of I know pretty much nothing. I know that it was nine people went, which I've got to say. I mean, I'm not going to start clapping because that'll piss Jason off with the monitoring of the redlining here. Because I was supposed to be sitting closer to this here, but I've decided to change my seat at the last minute. But what I will say is that for the people that actually made it, right? What did we have? We had a friggin' cyclone. We've got, petrol. We got the war breakout. So petrol is like, I don't know. It's more expensive than a week's rent at the moment just to fill your tank.
Yeah.
The cost of living in general before this. So for you guys to all brave it out and actually turn up to this, awesome.
100%.
I heard it was good. I don't know nothing. But I heard it was good, and I've seen the photos, and I could tell everyone's had a good time. So that's awesome. That's a great result. Yeah.
There's more photos to come. Yeah. So, yeah, it was really awesome, and we do absolutely appreciate the hell out of everybody who came to that. For all of the reasons that Shane has already said. We have some super dedicated people out there, and wow, wouldn't have been the night that it was without you all. So some of the evidence we got though, like we were a little bit worried. I'm not gonna lie, we were a little bit worried because our first Newcastle jail investigation, the one that's up on the channel, it wasn't crazy active. Like, it was good, but it wasn't one of our most, videos that was the most insanely packed with evidence or anything like that.
If I remember correctly, if I remember correctly, it was almost as if, I don't know, the spirits felt a bit, I don't know, like restricted or something, like as if, I don't know, it was as if they were all lacking in energy or something. I don't know. I don't know. It was like they were all like something had them in line or something. I don't know.
They were kind of like, they're a bit like standing back or something.
Yeah. Apprehensive.
Other than the 1907 lockup, which was the most active place. That's where Jason got all the footsteps and stuff. Yeah. But we didn't have that for the night, for the actual investigation experience that we were sharing. So we were actually going in there a little bit worried. That, that's always the fear though, when you're hosting something as an experience and bringing guests along is what if it's not good? We have no control over this. It's not like we're putting on a play or something where we can just tell the actors what to do. We're
that's right.
Spirits. We have no control.
We can't turn up the amperage or something and get the spirit talkers to go into overdrive mode or anything like that.
No, there's nothing we can do. It is entirely up to the spirits on the day, what they choose to do, how much energy they have, whether they are having a good day, a bad day. I don't know, but we're a little bit concerned. But we always have that anxiety there in those situations. What we ended up getting was so much more active than our original one. The night that we had with everybody there was way more active than the original Newcastle jail video that's up on the channel.
Okay. Great. Yeah. Okay.
Which is freaking, it was amazing. But we had some dark stuff come through.
Okay.
And at the same time, well, not even dark stuff. It was more just insults and stuff. And at the same time, we also had the most positive stuff come through. So it was both ends of the spectrum, hey.
It was a mix. Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Jason said that basically if I don't say this, he's going to be upset.
Yeah.
One of the best things that we had come through the spirit talker, the good old spirit talker on the night was eat shit. And I have to share that. Yeah. I've never heard a spirit talker say that before.
No. Neither have I, funnily enough.
I wasn't there for that. That was Beck and Jason, and they literally got told to eat shit by the spirit talker. Not only that, but it actually said "eat shit!" exclamation mark.
Exclamation mark.
And it had an
I
exclamation
didn't even
mark.
know that punctuation was possible.
I didn't know either.
How? I didn't even know you could do that. Okay. That's impressive. Very good.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, being a jail, you would expect a lot of prisoners to have a foul mouth,
Yeah, that's it. There was definitely a few foul mouth words came through. I think the very first thing that came through of the night actually was wanker. So
Wanker.
yes,
You reckon it could have been the same spirit? It's just
potentially, because they also got called a bastard more than once.
fuck. What else? What didn't they get called? I'm sorry to everyone that bought tickets, by the way. That's what you paid for.
Yeah.
To get called a wanker. Money well spent, but no.
Yeah. But at the same time, then they also had or we all did also have all this communication come through about you're respectful, you're helping us.
Yeah, so do you feel it's the spirits had to step in and say, "Oh, sorry about this guy, but we're not like that. He's the bastard, not you guys." But
pretty much.
Yeah.
Best of all, we also had come through, we like investigators.
Which fits with that. That's awesome. Don't you love it when they say stuff like that? Isn't that so reassuring? Yeah.
It's definitely reassuring. Definitely.
That's awesome. So that's really cool. It's obviously it was there was a lot of good vibes going around by the sounds of it. So even the guy with the foul mouth was obviously not completely evil either. So that's cool.
No, although I did have an experience there.
You had an experience?
I did have an experience.
So
someone didn't like me.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell happened, but I actually had a period of time where I completely just spaced out. I was locked in and I could hear what was happening around me, but I couldn't speak. It was scary.
A bit like a paralysis.
Yeah, I just completely just went and it wasn't until I went to speak that because I can zone out a little bit at times, but I was just locked in, just staring, and I was like, oh shit, all right, snap out of it. But when I tried to then move or speak, I couldn't. And that was weird. Also, absolutely 100% not what you want when you're hosting an experience.
No, but I mean, how did they react when you did that? Were they aware that you did that, or they didn't pick up on it?
Well, I managed to I was a bit shaken after that, so I've mentioned it. Well, they realised what had happened.
But Kat, you wouldn't have wanted. You just said that Jason made you mention it tonight. You didn't want to mention that with all good reason. I understand that.
Oh no! I've chosen to bring this one up, but no, I had to mention about the eat shit. That was.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
that was
eat shit always comes first, but
yeah. Had to get that out of the way first.
Have you ever had Have you ever had sleep paralysis or any of that sort of thing happen?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay.
I've never had sleep paralysis.
Because I have, and that's the vibe I'm getting there. Like where it's like you're aware but you can't speak.
It was like a dissociative state, like a dissociative episode. But then I realized I had no, once I was aware, I had no control, and it didn't last very long. But it was paired with the fact that I felt somebody grab my back, and it just felt wrong. And then that just happened, and I was like, so that was really really off.
Wow.
And I persisted in investigating that area a few times. So, Josh and Caitlin, if you're listening, I am sorry that you guys had that as your very first experience of the night. Um, but we tried a few times to investigate, and then I ended up actually, after a couple of times of trying, having to swap with Star and go to a different station because I couldn't continue hosting in that area. Every time I went back in there, something would happen or I'd just feel off. But interestingly enough, the other groups that came in afterwards, they were completely fine.
So it was
Different
you.
experience. It was me. It was me.
Personally.
It was only me.
Especially if you felt something on your back, like if going to touch your back.
Caitlin and Josh, who were in there when that happened, they also felt off about it. But it's hard to say how much of that was because of my energy, but they definitely did feel off. And when it comes to disembodied noises, I heard one of the clearest disembodied noises that I've ever heard.
What was it?
And I don't hear shit normally.
Well, I've got tinnitus, so.
No, we got growled at, and that was me and the two people that we were with. That was me, Caitlin, and Josh. Heard that.
How
It was
how far apart was that from where you had the other experience that you were just talking about? Was that in the same area?
It was in the same area. We were just in one room over.
Okay.
And that was the last spot that we were like, well, we're not going to go back into that room, so we'll try this room instead.
Yeah.
And we were getting some communication. But the funny thing is that the communication that we were getting wasn't necessarily bad.
Yeah.
It was fairly, okay communication in terms of the words that were coming through. And yet the feelings were just so off. And then we got that growl, and I was like, oh, man. Still gave it another couple of goes of investigating in there with another group. They were fine. But every time I went back in there, it was just so wrong. I actually had to switch. And it was just a weird experience because Star came in there and hosted with the groups in that section for the second half of the night.
Yep.
And they didn't have the same feelings.
Nothing like it. Okay.
Strangely enough, they had even darker communication.
Yeah.
But felt way safer.
Yeah, not on a personal level.
Yeah.
Like you had.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And when I went over to the other section across the road where Star had been hosting, I felt completely fine for the rest of the night.
Like it had been lifted.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe one of the ex-prisoners has got a thing for Libras. I don't know. I don't know.
The going theory is about a prison guard because we did have some footsteps around the courtyard.
Okay.
And Jason even had with somebody in a cell an episode as well where they were getting some pretty I can't remember exactly what the communication was, but it was quite dominating. And then they had a shadow come across the door because they're in a cell with a door closed.
Yeah.
And when the light from under the door just gets blocked?
Yep.
Yep. And as that's happened, and it stopped and it stayed blocked, and they were just like, oh, what the? And the communication that came through the spirit talker was, I can see you.
Oh, okay. So making itself very well known. Obviously, really direct. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what, you think that might have been one of the prison wardens or something? I mean, so were you in a prison cell at the time, did you say, or was this? It wasn't you, it was Jason.
Yeah, this was Jason, who was in a prison cell. Where I was getting my experiences was actually in the warder's quarters.
Okay.
So if it was a prison guard, I was in their living room.
If somebody likes their job too much.
Yeah, if it was the warder themselves, then I was in their living room. So
I mean, he was supposed to retire 200 years ago, and he's still working.
I know, right?
Works more than my mum. But yeah.
It was interesting. It was definitely an interesting night. The one thing about these investigation experiences that we do is that obviously they're not filmed for YouTube, which means that we don't have all the footage for evidence.
Yeah.
Which kind of like, it's so unusual for us to be in that situation where these things happen and we have nothing to actually look back at and watch.
Yep.
Because you always want to see, like, I want to see it. I want to be like, did that happen? Didn't it happen? I don't know. It did happen, obviously, but
the thing is, like, I mean, like we said before, talking about the specifics of what happened there, you never know what to expect. I mean, how are you supposed to know what's going to happen? You know?
No.
I mean, any normal, rational person would assume, okay, either I'm going to assume a heap of stuff's going to happen, or I have to think either that or that bugger all is going to happen. You know, it's going to be quiet. Well, you would have to go with quiet, because if you would assume lots of stuff's going to happen, then people think you're loony, right?
I think we hope lots of stuff's going to happen because people are paying for it.
Exactly. I mean, you hope stuff will, and it does, and it has every
people
time.
Aren't just paying for the activity, though. You know, for the paranormal activity, it's about the experience, and you know, it's about that experience of what it's like to investigate a location.
Yep.
What it's like to use all the equipment for themselves, like not just see it, not just watch me do it. It's like here, handing it over and being like, here it is. Here's a flux too.
Yep.
Off you go. Ever seen one before? Nope. If you have you held one before? Nope.
Yep.
Like actually getting to do it for themselves. And I think whether we get crazy activity or not, that's pretty special.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they got more than they bargained for by the sounds of it. In a good way.
And being alone in a location like that, you know, heritage listed location, is just something that is, that's really what makes it a special experience, I think.
Absolutely. Yep.
And of course us, like, you know, like they get to spend the night with us.
Absolutely. You know, best personalities in the Southern Hemisphere.
I don't think anyone wanted to be around me that night, though. Not after that.
Well, not when you're like, you know, just staring at people like, can't talk.
Yeah, yeah.
Get her out of here, will you? No. But because I went to the one in Albany, so I've done one ticketed event, and that was amazing as well. I mean, this one sounds like it might just have the edge. I don't know. I wasn't there, but the one in Albany was fantastic. So it's, I don't know, like, I don't know. Let's say by us turning up to any investigation, whether it's ticketed or just one of our regular ones, whatever. Let's just say, as an analogy, that we're turning on a light, some sort of light. I think the longer that we've been doing this for, the light's getting brighter. That's the way I feel about it, and the spirits are aware of this, and that is honestly how it feels, because every single time we do something, it's, you know, we haven't had a non-event since I've come back. So it's all me. No, I mean, like, it's all heading in the, you know.
Thank you, Shane.
Okay. But that's the only way I can describe it. It feels like, before I said, well, we'd be stupid to expect stuff to happen. But honestly, guys, I expect stuff to happen. I really do. We get a lot of good stuff. So
we do. And there's got to be something to that, hey?
Yep.
The fact that it's almost, you're right, it's almost like the more times you open yourself up, the more of a beacon you become to the spirits, or the more trust they have in you, or something like that. The more familiar you are. I don't know how that looks for them, but there's something to it. There's got to be.
I mean, it's like, is it electrical? Is it to do with waves? Or is it from the heart? Is it something to do with emotion? Or is it a mixture of the two? And all of our equipment, I mean, that operates off different wavelengths. And if you put any wavelength in the ocean, any marine creature is going to hear it from the other side of the globe. And I'm just making this up, guys. I didn't, you know, just bear with me here.
hadn't thought of it that way.
I've never thought of it like this way before, but are we tuning into Spirit FM or something? You know, is
we might be.
The signal getting stronger? And the spirits are like, guys, you got to check out 66.6. Oh, no, okay, not that one. Any other number than that, idiot. But, you know, and they're like, wow, yeah. And this is how I'm thinking. I mean, it's, I don't know. There's something, it feels like that. It's like that. It's like, that's how it feels. It's spreading. It's like the light's getting brighter. Wavelength is getting louder, stronger. I don't know.
Yeah. There's something to it. There's got to be something to it. Because it's not just us. I've seen it with other paranormal channels or teams as well.
Yeah.
Like there's some things that that I used to watch or whatever, or channels that I do watch where it's almost like the more they do it, the more evidence that it seems real, because sometimes you could say, well, if people keep getting more and more evidence, like that's, that they're faking it.
That's the natural progression you want to make, isn't it? So
yeah,
and the thing is, the difference is like
there does seem to be something to it, though. I've got to say.
I mean, I'm pretty skeptical traditionally. I always was. And there's a difference between watching, like some people watching us, for example, versus being there themselves. And it's when sometimes some things are hard to accept are true, even when you are there by yourself, and you do witness it yourself. And I will say, I would probably, how much time we got left, Kat? Because we must be.
We got all of, I don't know, because I didn't start the timer at the right time, left. I give it 5 minutes. We've got 5 minutes.
You should have written down, do not forget to start the timer, and then you would have remembered to turn it on.
I have a timer, but I started it late.
1 minute.
I just don't know how late.
Well, we've only been talking for a minute. We got all night then. That's all right.
No, it says 52 minutes something.
Oh, does it? Oh, okay.
Right,
close enough. Oh, God, now I'm going to forget what I was saying, but that's to be expected. No, look. So when you're in person. No, that's what I was going to say. So
trust us to do this.
It's, hey, and they thought we'd have trouble filling an hour. Yeah, right. Oliver State. Okay, let me just go back to that briefly. The first one I did.
Go for it.
Spirit board session.
Yes. Oh, you did the first spirit board session on the channel.
Well, they're my tattoos.
Shit.
So either I'm going to sue somebody for copyright, or that was me, right?
That is actually like the best video thumbnail that we have, I reckon.
It's because it's got
is your hand.
Moonchi on it. That's what it is. I'll pay her later.
I was like, don't worry about the ones that have your face in them. Like the one of your hands is like the best.
That's why I got the hand one the right way up. So anyway, it is a good thumbnail. But look, imagine how I felt. That's the first proper investigation I've been on, and then that spirit board session. I didn't know how to take that. I couldn't accept that happened, even though I was there. And I was half of that board. I had my fingers on the planchard. I still couldn't, I could not accept that it happened. And it was the strangest feeling. Mm-hmm. Because I remember trying spirit board sessions years and years ago when I was a lot younger, and we're all, smoking the funny stuff or whatever, and like, let's do it, and trying to take it seriously and whatnot. And we got nothing. The only thing we got was the microwave going off. And that was it. Because our dinner was ready. Right? So how's that for a switch? So that honestly, I really found it hard to accept, and I felt bad because Jason was the other half of that. So if I'm questioning the legitimacy of it, well, that means Jason's full of shit, which couldn't have been the case. So my point is, that's how I, even when you're in the moment, it can be hard to fathom. But because it's happening so often, I am at that point now where I'm trying to try to figure out what could possible truths be here and why is that, what I mean? I've already accepted that it's clearly something going that's real.
Yeah.
But what is it, And that's just what I wanted to say to the listeners. Because if you know me personally, you know I'm not. What I say is what's in my head. So
I think that's what I really love about our team too, though, is that we're not all diehard, like, oh my God, everything is paranormal and I believe that this and this and this. It's like we all have a certain, there's probably more of us that is curious. Like we all kind of have a bigger curious part than a diehard believer part, I would say. Oh.
Agreed. Hello.
It's time for me to do yoga.
Yoga? All right, should I change? Hang on a minute. Should I change the lighting in here, or I'll brighten it up a bit? Probably go for 8,000 K temperature. I don't know something.
No, thank you.
No?
Yeah, but yeah, is that we all are very much wanting to find answers, not make assumptions. That's what I love. That's what I really love. Anyway.
Yep. Do you think we're all open? We're all open for them.
Yeah.
It's as if the spirits are aware of this.
Yeah, but I think our viewers are aware as well that, like, not only are we open to the spirits and their world, we're also open to the fact that sometimes it's not sometimes it's our heads, sometimes it's coincidence, sometimes it's the wind. Like, we're open to both sides. We're open to the paranormal and picking that up and learning so much more about it, and to all of the messages that the spirits have for us is amazing. But we're also open and okay with the fact that sometimes it's not. Like, sometimes it is pareidolia. And that's, I think, what is quite special within our team, is that we all want to, we all want to find out more. We all want to get to the bottom of it and find the truth, not interested in just, those assumptions and stuff.
No, the truth would be nice. Yes, please.
The truth would be nice, yeah. We'll probably never know it. Like, I don't feel like that's something, that you just get. Just be like, oh, now I know everything about the afterlife.
Well, look, maybe if we did know it, we wouldn't be able to explain it anyway.
Possibly. That could be the problem that the spirits have.
Well, I just thought of another crazy thing that just fell into my brain, or it's about to fall out of it. I don't know where this came from. This is going to sound weird, but what if we're vessels for the spirits to be able to pour their existence into? Rather than no vessel.
No, I'm sorry.
Put it on the floor. Sorry.
I would personally prefer not to be poured into. Can I just put that out there?
What is beer?
Oh, well, maybe.
Come on. Oh, who wouldn't want that?
There's only one kind of spirit that I'm okay with being poured into me.
Vodka.
Vodka. I am a vessel for the spirits. No, sorry.
It's like I remember.
What has this become?
I was so parched one time. I was at your place, and I went to just grab a drink of water out the fridge.
Oh, I don't know if you should
collapse. I was like, either the pH level is totally wrong, or that ain't water. No, I'm only joking, guys.
The water in my house is pretty bad, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. It's not
yeah.
Glad it wasn't.
On that note, I believe that we are well and truly past our hour now.
Probably.
Good chats. We'll I can't wait to be back. Like, we've got so much more to talk about. Yeah. Particularly when it comes to all of those thoughts about the afterlife, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I don't want to ramble on too much about the freaky deaky stuff.
No.
Shout out to Casper Site. I got stole that from you, mate. I'm sorry, but it just rolls off the tongue. But freaky deaky. But yeah, I agree. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Definitely. So what am I supposed to do? If you enjoyed this podcast, like, subscribe. You can hear us on Spotify or iTunes, or I think there's another one. And we're also on YouTube under the Afterlife Party. You will find the Paranormal After Party podcast under the Afterlife Party on YouTube.
Yes.
Yes.
Glad you said that, not me. Okay,
All right, that's us.
Afterlife Party. Yeah.
It's late. We're done. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.